Hi, Karen Joy Fritz here, your evolutionary coach and inventor of the game Path, a strategic transformation game that uses mountains, forests, and rivers as metaphors for your business ecosystem. Today, I want to just give you a little demo of what it's like to play the game Path. I'll go through it as quickly as I can here, but please recognize that in our game nights, when I have time to actually interact with you and help you with your interpretations, we go more slowly and get a lot more depth out of it. You can read more about me at my website, karenjoyfritz.com. Basically, after completing dual degrees in computer science and neuropsychology, I went to a Fortune 50 company and became a software development project manager, responsible for integrating all the parts of a product release. I left that in 1991 to become an entrepreneur. And as the waves of layoffs hit, other graduates asked me how to make their businesses work. Eventually, I saw the truth of the need and dropped my own freelancing to focus on consulting to coaches, creative types, and transformational leaders who have managed to get profitable, but kind of dread that next step up because of what they think it has to mean. Suffocating structures or endless overhead and disconnection from the work they actually love doing. None of which is true, of course. It's just a matter of finding the integrated guidance that's based on your true nature, your divine design, rather than blueprints or books focused on get the most money and get out. My model for integrating this guidance has 3 overlapping circles. Easy enough to remember. The first one is yourself, knowing how your inner worldview is built and how to intentionally expand your own capacity. The second is strategy, both how you reach out and connect with your market and how you deliver your gift that's actually sourced from your own strengths and style, so it feels good to dive in. And third, just the systems required to run that strategy, and only the tools that fit yourself. Then it spirals back to yourself and becoming all your business will need you to be in the next 3 to 5 years of successful growth. 3 parts: strategy, systems, and self. And that's the model that I distilled down into the game Path. Those 3 areas became mountain, forest, and river. Purple mountain strategy tiles reflect your big picture, your vision, and your strategies for going on your journey. The green forest tiles represent your plans and actions for walking your talk. It might include automation and tools, the planes, trains, and automobiles of your business. It might include delegation and communication processes, but again, only what your business model actually needs and only selecting what fits you. And finally, the golden river tiles are about the flow of your essence in your business. What might be blocking the flow? How can you release the fullest power and abundance of you into the world? So the game Path is built on decades of experience providing workable, real-world solutions to non-MBA folks so they can be successful and sustainable in their business, both financially and energetically, because burnout serves no one. By using the mountain, forest, river metaphor, Path allows you to access answers your intellect would never have derived. Nature speaks to our subconscious, our intuition. It allows us to learn our business practices not from outdated books or cookie cutter formulas, but from our own hearts. So the first step that we do at a game night is to take out our play sheet, which you can download in the Facebook group Path Playroom, and set an intention for this round of play. Consider a topic in your business that you'd like insight around in the next week to 10 days. When we do a game night, we have more time to describe the art of deepening questions, but people generally ask along the lines of, what can I do to bring more awareness to my book or a workshop that I'm launching? How can I get more organized in my business? What's my next step in developing affiliate alliances? How can I reduce the stress I am currently in with my business? How can my email newsletter connect more deeply with people? Or how can I serve more people through my programs? You get the idea. These are kind of open-ended questions, and yet they relate directly to our business. And we're looking for, what insights can I actually use in the next week to 10 days? So my topic this week is, how can I best prepare to truly connect with people on my game tour? I'm planning it for next month, and I want to know, what do I need to have in place internally in my systems and in my strategy to really be able to connect with people as I'm on this tour? So I'm going to just take a couple of centering breaths and relax into my body, because I get a little excited about the video. And I'm feeling the bottoms of my feet and taking a breath and relaxing my gut and opening my chest and relaxing my jaw and exhaling any tension between my temples. And now I'm going to take my tiles without looking at the pictures, right? I'll let the pictures face you. And thinking about my topic of how I can best prepare to truly connect with people on my upcoming game tour. I'm going to select 3 tiles and simply lay them out facing me. So there's 1, come over here, this one, 2, and this one, 3. There we go. These pictures tell a story about my journey for this week, because that's the intention I set. At a game night, I can take a lot more time to really go into interpreting the tiles for people present and how the guidance relates specifically to their topic. The bonding that happens as players listen to each other's desires and challenges just melts my heart. There's so much, oh, I faced that too. What kind of resolution are you seeing? That it seems like every player benefits not only from their own game, but from hearing how universal their struggles are and how wisdom always shows up when asked. So in our story, the first position represents the call of a hero's journey. So this tile in this position points to something you've been working on and is nearing a level of completion, at least for now. Once you polish this off, you're set to really embark. So in this case, I have the tile standing together. I'm going to pick this up, and I'm just going to read what's on the back of the tile and what it says here. Standing together. The forest is made of many trees. The parts fit together to make a larger whole. Your plans require many tasks and actions, each a unique opportunity for you to stand tall. This card also reminds you to build relationships into your planning, co-creating a resilient ecosystem for generations. So what I would do then is take that and write it on my play sheet right here in the box for the call. I might write down a little bit about what it says on the card, but even more, what it inspires within me, how my intuition makes sense of that. There's also a spot for the other 2 cards that we're going to talk about. So when I consider how that relates to what I've been working on and what maybe is almost complete, I've invited my hosts and set up the dates with them. So that's our standing together part. I also did some work around my own systems, right? Because it is a forest tile. It's look at your systems. I did some work on my systems in the past week around making a flow chart of how I want to interact with people who attend on the day after. What follow-up really feels good to me, and how can I systematize it so nobody falls through the cracks? So I'm feeling like, yeah, I have been working on something in that area, and I've pretty well got that ready for the next step. The center position reflects the challenge of the hero's journey, the road of trials and tribulations, and it's supposed to be challenging. The challenge is what causes the hero to grow. If the hero doesn't grow in a movie or in a story, we call it a tragedy. So remember that this challenge exists in support of you. My topic already represents my personal area of challenge as an introvert, getting more connected and staying connected. And I know that. We all have our soft spots. It's not like it's shameful. And part of the fun of game night is discovering the diversity around our table. We all have hang-ups, and getting to normalize that and talk about it rather than put on some mask of perfection truly brings a group together. We all want to be able to take our masks off. We want to put down the added burden of pretending. And we need to recover that energy that we've been putting into that to have available for our creativity. So in my case, the tile is, I love it. This is the picture of Profile Rock, which is just up the Poudre Canyon where I live. So it always reminds me I don't have to go very far looking for my challenges and adventures. So what it says on the back, where are you? This is a strategy card. Profile Rock stands out clearly. Consider how to get yourself into the perspective so people see the real you in your work. How does your strategy play off of what is uniquely you? As people are promoting these game nights, perhaps I can show up more personally. We could maybe do a Facebook Live together, or we could do something where that's more than just a post on Facebook that I'm going to be in the area. I can really show up as me and say, have I ever been to that area before? What happened when I was there? In fact, as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, those would make some really good stories. So again, notice that the words on the tile were just enough to let my subconscious and my intuition start to kick in and get creative with this. And I can see how important it is for me to really show up this week in particular. The final position is the celebration. And this is, in the hero's journey, the treasure that is brought back to the kingdom. For us, this is something that becomes possible or easier once you've faced your challenge. This is the perspective you'll be taking when you play your weekly review game, which is described in the Path booklet. There's a bunch of games in there for you to play with these same tiles. So in my case, I have this tile around immense support. And this one is Tenaya Lake up above Yosemite National Park. And it says, the mountains cradle this alpine lake, allowing the water to gather before flowing down to feed the trees. Consider the harmony of yourself, your energetic support system, created by the strategy and tactics you choose. So this relates directly for me because once I show up more in promoting the game nights and show up more as myself when I'm there, of course I'll be more connected. The entire strategy supports that. So the lake, the water, represents me being supported by doing these things. And from the overflow of that connection in the moment, all of my systems, my trees and my forests, will be a lot easier to manage when I get back home. So that's the storyline in a nutshell, because I am trying to keep this video a little short. You can see as I play the game over, weekly and then monthly and then quarterly and even annually, I'm actually building an integrated business sense. I'm building the thinking around, oh, I'm having a mountain moment here, or wow, I need to deal with the forest and the trees today. I sure don't have to go and take an MBA class for that, but I'm seeing the whole ecosystem. We can go deeper into unpacking this challenge and get more guidance around how to address it this week. Players generally know what it is about their challenge that's calling them forward. And most people look at it and they go, oh yeah, busted, or wow, I can't believe how much that is right on target. So people really recognize as they're playing the game what's coming forward for them. So in a game night, we go ahead and turn over our sheet and take just the challenge part and put it into the top part. What makes that a challenge? And then we're going to look at this part here. Now, in every hero's journey, there's a divine mentor, or the comic sidekick if you're into Disney movies. In Path, we have our ally cards. And these are 9 different animals that represent 9 different ways you can look at the world. They're based on the Enneagram and have a lot of ancient wisdom behind them. So it's not about going outward and asking spirit guides or asking totem animals. These represent parts of our own psyche. When you say, well, part of me wants to do it and part of me doesn't want to do it, those parts. We contain all 9 perspectives, right? We have all of this within us, but we generally default to one way that we look at the world most of the time. The ally cards invite us to take a different point of view around your topic. So again, without looking, I'm going to select, I better shuffle these because I did look. Without looking, I'm going to select an ally card, and I'll show you before I even look. It is the Ram. Okay, so I have the Ram. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my Path booklet. All of the cards and allies are described in the booklet because there was too much to fit on the back of a little tiny card. Okay? So the Ram represents Enneagram type 1, if you're familiar with that, the idealist, the teacher, the perfectionist. Ram runs up rocky mountain faces through detailed attention and precision in the moment. When most alive, Ram puts intuitive knowledge of the terrain into action. Oh, I like that part. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. When activated within you, Ram's evolved perspective supports wise, ethical choices and diligent, reliable actions. Yeah, I can see where this is going. Ram's invitation is to live for a higher purpose, remembering that it's through your true nature to be wise, discerning, and patient. Consider the following questions while embodying your ally. Where are you focusing on what is imperfect or being hypercritical? Where could you take an imperfect action? I'm really good with those. In what ways is the situation already divinely perfect? Step into your inner Ram and look at your topic with an eye to detail. Is anything out of place? Could details be handled more elegantly? Already I'm starting to get ideas of, there are a lot of ways I could coordinate more effectively with my hosts. And perhaps, who are you butting heads with? I'm not feeling like that's the one that's up. But I do want to look more into an eye to detail and handling details more elegantly. That feels like what's really going to be helping for me at this point. You'll find at a game night, some people feel like the animal matches who they already are, and some are just astounded to be trying on a new pair of eyes. Where the story part of the game night tends to have a lot of, oh my gosh, that's so true, how did you know? This part of the game night tends to have a lot of laughter around the aha moments. Combining this new perspective with what I'd realized before, I'm going to fill in the bottom of my play sheet with 2 or 3 key action steps to take this week to really honor my intuition and move my business forward. Because we want to make sure that our game night players are always leaving with actionable steps they can implement immediately. So that's how a basic round of the heroic journey of the game path goes. As I said, there are other games in the book and even more being invented and shared in the Facebook Path Playroom all the time. If you'd like to schedule a Path game night or Sunday brunch or meeting activity, check out the host page at karenjoyfritz.com/path/host, or just drop me an email and we'll chat about it. I would love to play with you.